So we have already looked at the main group of irregular past verbs, like tuve, I had, or quise, I wanted, and they all had that same set of endings. And now we're going to extend our knowledge of these with a few more commonly used irregular verbs in the past in Spanish. We'll begin with two similar sounding verbs, poner and poder. Poner, poder. Poner being to put, and poder to be able to. If you've already committed to memory the set of irregular past endings that we have looked at, then this will be quite straightforward. So we're looking at poner and poder. So the starting point for poner is puse. Puse, I put in the past. Puse, I put it there yesterday. Lo puse ahí ayer. And I was able to, or we could also say I could, would be pude. Pude. So puse and pude. Pude. Puse, pude. So I put in the past, and I was able to, or I could. Puse, pude. Puse spelled P-U-S-E, pude, P-U-D-E. So we could say, puse el coche en el garaje. I put the car in the garage. Puse el coche en el garaje. Or we could say, puse el libro en la mesa. I put the book on the table. And for pude, for I was able to, we could say, pude comprar algo. I was able to buy something. Pude comprar algo. Or we could say, no pude. I couldn't, or I wasn't able to. Or no pude venir ayer. I couldn't come yesterday. And knowing the endings from the previous lesson, and as the endings of the set of irregular verbs has already been covered with things like tuve and quise, we'll just go through them quite briefly with these verbs. So, puse, pude. So, did you put would be pusiste, pusiste, so the iste ending, pusiste, and were you able to, or could you, pudiste, and he or she put would be puso, he or she could or was able to would be pudo, so puso, pudo. You can probably guess the rest. We put, pusimos. We were able to, pudimos. They put, pusieron, pusieron. And they were able to, pudieron, pudieron. So let's practice those. How would we say we were able to go? We were able to go. Pudimos ir. Pudimos ir. We were able to go. To the party is a la fiesta. To the party, a la fiesta. So how would you say we were able to go to the party? Pudimos ir a la fiesta. Pudimos ir a la fiesta. What about they couldn't go to the party, or they weren't able to go to the party? What would that be? No pudieron ir a la fiesta. No pudieron ir a la fiesta. How about he put something on the table? He put something on the table. Puso algo en la mesa. Puso algo en la mesa. How about we put the potatoes in the oven? We put the potatoes in the oven. The potatoes, las patatas, and the oven, el horno. Horno, the oven. And incidentally, a bakery is often called an horno, an oven, in Spain. So we put the potatoes in the oven would be pusimos las patatas en el horno. Pusimos las patatas en el horno. How about were you able to finish the book? Were you able to finish the book? ¿Pudiste terminar el libro? ¿Pudiste terminar el libro? So that's to put and to be able to, irregular verbs in the past. Next we'll look at the verb to do and to make in the past, or the preterite past as it's called. And we'll study this one on its own as it's such a useful and common verb. It has the same irregular set of endings as we've already been looking at. So to do and to make is hacer, hacer, and I did or I made is hice, hice, H-I-C-E, hice. In Latin America, it would be hice, because they pronounce the th as a s, hice. But we'll stick with hice for the moment. I did or I made. And you can predict how the rest of the verbs will go. But first, let's do a bit of practice with hice. I did or I made. How would you say I did something fun? And fun is divertido, divertido. I did something fun. What would that be? Hice algo divertido. Hice algo divertido. How about I made something for you? I made something for you. And for you is just para ti, para ti. So I made something for you would be hice algo para ti. Hice algo para ti. So I did, I made, hice, hice. And you can predict that the rest of the verbs will go like this. You did, or did you do, hiciste. He or she did or made, hizo. We did, we made, hicimos. They did or they made, hicieron, hicieron. One thing to note is that hizo, he or she did, hizo, is spelt with a Z. And this is to do with Spanish spelling rules. not important at the moment, although it is covered in the Pro Spanish course. So hizo, spelled with a Z. So how would we say he made a cake? He made a cake. And a cake is una tarta. Una tarta. So how would you say he made a cake? Hizo una tarta. Hizo una tarta. How would you say they did something different? They did something different. Hicieron algo diferente. Hicieron algo diferente. How about we did something special? We did something special. Special being especial. We did something special. Hicimos algo especial. Hicimos algo especial. What about they didn't make a cake? They didn't make a cake. No hicieron una tarta. No hicieron una tarta. Now remember, you did, hiciste, and the question, did you do, is the same, hiciste. So, you did something, hiciste algo. Did you do something, or did you make something? Hiciste algo. So, did you do something yesterday, or did you do anything yesterday? Hiciste algo ayer. How would you say, did you make something special? Did you make something special? ¿Hiciste algo especial? ¿Hiciste algo especial? How about what did you do? Or it could also be what did you make? What being qué? How would you say what did you do? ¿Qué hiciste? ¿Qué hiciste? If you wanted to say what did he do, it would be ¿qué hizo? ¿Qué hizo? And finally, how would we say what did they do yesterday? What did they do yesterday? ¿Qué hicieron ayer? ¿Qué hicieron ayer? ¿Qué hicieron ayer?